Hi guys, James at Rampant Lion Reviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to head up to Gothenburg once again, or Göteborg as you'd say in Swedish, and we're going to have a look at another beer from a brewery who I've only just encountered quite recently, but I've been very impressed with what I've had from them so far. So for this one, for the third time, we are going to go to Spike Brewery, but we're having a taste of one of their quite famous beers, or quite well-known beers I guess you could say, or well-regarded beers, however you want to put it. This one is their Illegal Business, and it comes in at 8% ABV, and it's a double IPA hopped with Centennial, Mosaic and Equinox, so I think it should be a little bit of a monster, this one. When I checked it out on Rate Beer earlier, it had a very good rating. I think it was like a 96 or something this beer had, and on Untappd it was, I think, it was kind of quite strongly into the 4 stars from what I remember. But a lot of people have told me this is a very good IPA, and as I've said before, you know, the IPAs, the 2 beers that I've had actually from these guys quite recently, have both been very good, so very curious to see what this one's all about, and as always I hope you guys enjoy my take on this beer. So anyway, as is usual with my reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery. If you want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my other reviews that I've done from Spike Brewery before. No doubt I will add some more in the near future. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do please consider subscribing to the channel. The whole channel, of course, has a geography-based tagging system, so you can go into the home page and search for beer based on country, city, state, county, prefecture, whatever it is you're interested in. Do check out the playlist of beers from different countries. There is one there for all the Swedish beers that I've reviewed for you. That's constantly being added to, and as always, please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. It's always great to hear from you guys that are watching the videos, and the support that you show the channel is hugely appreciated. So anyway, to tell you a little bit about Spike Brewing then. So as I mentioned to you earlier, Spike Brewery are based in Gothenburg, and they were founded back in 2014 by Mats Westberg, Marcus Oxberry and Martin Johansson. So all 3 had previously worked in the IT industry, but now only Mats and Marcus are still active in the company. Their brewer is Bernardo Gava, who's from Brazil, and he trained in brewing at VLB in Berlin, and he joined the company back in 2017. But at the moment they're producing around 250,000 litres of beer a year, and they've got about 25% of that volume is used for actually kind of contract brewing other breweries' beers. So these guys are one of the, I guess you could say, the slightly bigger volume craft breweries in Gothenburg at the moment. But the brewery can be found in the Gamlestaden area, the Old Town area, and they actually have an on-site tap room as well, which opens up on Saturdays and also serves food as well. If you go onto the website, which you'll find in the description below, you can see some nice pictures and stuff like this. It actually looks very nice. And as I've said before, Gothenburg is one of these places that I really need to kind of get up to and just have a little bit of a kind of beer weekend kind of thing and have a look at it, because as I say, Gothenburg, when it comes to Swedish craft beer, that is the beer city over here now. It's, you know, Copenhagen's very well regarded, but by all accounts Gothenburg isn't too far behind them these days. So yeah, I think some very exciting things going on up there. Some very good craft beers coming out of that city, and I definitely need to get up there and check it out for myself sometime soon. But yeah, that's all you really need to know about Spike Brewing just now. Another very good Gothenburg craft brewery popping up. If you want to learn a little bit more, check out the brewery website in the description below. You can follow them on Facebook, and also you can check out their Instagram and things like that. They are a fairly prolific brewery, so that'll keep you up to date with all the latest goings on there. But yeah, let's get on to the actual tasting of this beer itself. So as I mentioned to you earlier, this one is a double IPA coming in at 8% ABV, and it's hot with Centennial, Mosaic and Equinox. But yeah, really nice looking beer, this one. You can see it's got the sort of Illuminati kind of thing on it. So the Illuminati, of course, is illegal in a lot of places, I guess, or this, you know, the New World Order kind of thing. Governments don't like that very much. But there you can see the Spike Brewing Company symbol. Just put that right up to the camera so you can see. But yeah, nicely presented beer, this one. There is the other symbol that they often use. I think this one is the one that's more common, and as I say, it tells you just a little bit on the side here. Double dry hopped, double IPA, brewed with wheat and oats, hopped with Centennial, Mosaic and lots of Equinox. So yeah, it should be very nice. So without further ado then, let's get this guy out and we will get on with the tasting. Very curious to see what this one throws up. And of course you can order this beer nationwide from Systembolaget here in Sweden, so just bear that in mind with this one. I tell you straight away, as soon as you open this up, you can smell the lemon from the Centennial and the lime from the Equinox coming out of this one. I do remember when Equinox was first released, and it was under the name Equinox originally. I think that might have been back in about, 2015, 2016 maybe. But yeah, so as you can see with this one, and as you would expect from a sort of New England IPA, it's poured a lovely, bright, hazy, quite a goldeny yellow colour, this one. It has got a little bit of an orange tint to it, but I would say this one is leaning a little bit more towards the yellowy side of things. Solid finger and a half of a frothy, I would say cream coloured head on this one. It's actually getting a little bit more bumpy the older this head gets. You can see one or two big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass and a few little ones just heading up towards the bottom of that head there. But overall it looks, it does actually look pretty nice, and I like how everything, it looks very, very attractive, but nothing overall surprising about this beer in terms of its appearance. So let's take a closer look at the aroma and see how we get on with this one then. Ooh, yeah, that smells really, really nice. So yeah, the things that are jumping out at me, this one, definitely a bit of the lemon and lime. So yeah, the Centennial gives you this lovely lemony sherbet quality. You can pick that up in this beer at the kind of front end of the nose. At the back end of the nose, you really get the more limey notes coming out of the Equinox. But with this beer as well, there is a lovely juicy kind of tangerine and pineapple note coming out of it too, and that's the Mosaic. The Mosaic can give you this really kind of tangerine pineapple-y aroma, and in the flavour it can sometimes give you a little bit of pineapple. But it also gives you it mainly gives you tangerine oranges, juicy tangerines, and also a little bit of a kind of blueberry note as well. So just pay attention to that in the aroma with this one. I really like how everything's going together here. Underneath that, of course, you can definitely pick up the the New England characteristics. You've got a little bit of that kind of white, wheaty, bready quality kind of forming the linchpin of the beer. There's a little bit of a biscuity sweetness in there, and you've also got a little bit of a you also have a good little bit of kind of a floral aromaticity, which is nice. I do like that, and a little bit of that kind of lighter grassy quality from the hops too. But yeah, the oaty creaminess is coming out nicely in this as well. But lovely wheaty bread, oaty creaminess, a little bit of biscuit in there, and then you've got these lovely fruity notes that I described to you earlier, and some sort of floral aromatic-y, grassy quality just to make this beer a little bit fresher. So yeah, just pay attention to the aroma of this one before you get stuck in. As I always say, when it comes to craft beers, half of the experience is the aroma. So just bear that in mind when you try this beer. So let's get stuck into it then. This one is the Illegal Business, a double IPA 8% from Spike Brewery up in Gothenburg in the Gamlestaden area. Let's get stuck in. Slange, skål. Ooh, yeah. That's pretty damn fresh, I have to say. That's nice. See, in fairness, I can see why this beer has been quite so highly rated. It's got a lot to it, this one. So if you get the chance to try this, I will say straight away, have a go at it and see what you think. Let's get the last of this out and into the glass actually. This is a damn good beer. Yeah. So, with this beer then, it has kind of everything you'd expect. It's one of these ones, it doesn't do anything surprising for the style, I would say, but it's it's just nicely done, and you can't really ask for much more than that. We're very, very familiar with the New England IPAs these days, and there's some great ones in Sweden, of course, as we know, but with this one, the malt base it is a little bit different. It feels a little bit lighter and a little bit crisper to me, just on first impressions. But in the middle of your palate, you can feel that nice, smooth, white bready quality that just blankets the middle of your tongue, and it's definitely got a little bit of that lovely white, wheaty smoothness to it. Just if you go in from the sides of your palate a little bit, you can feel some of the oaty creaminess there, and in the very centre of the palate, you've got a little bit of you definitely have a little bit of a slightly biscuity sweetness as well, which is nice. Yeah, I like how this one is going together. There's some really nice, there's just some really, really nice blending of flavours going on in this one. But the malt base, it's quite simple in this way. It's not one of the creamier New England malt bases you're going to come across. It's definitely got a little bit more of a kind of crispness to it, which is nice. But the sweetness, I think, starts to come out a little bit more the further into the aftertaste you go. But the hops are very, very well blended on this one, and this is where I think the beer kind of stands out. The lemon limey flavour is very, very popular, and this one for me, if you like, you know, lemon lime flavoured juices and things like that, this is one I think you really will enjoy. So let's just take that a little bit now. Let's go to the hoppy side of the beer rather. In the back corners of the palate you've got a nice little bit of earthy quality there, and that smooths out as you come further forward. When you get towards the front corners of the palate, you've got a nice, you definitely have a nice little bit of floral aromaticity to the beer, and you can pick up, it's actually a little bit spicy at the same time, which is quite interesting. I do remember Centennial and Equinox giving you just a little bit of spice there behind the fruity notes, which is quite interesting as well. As you go round the front curve of the palate though, it's a little bit lighter and more kind of grassy in its flavours, but the earthiness that you're getting at the back corners of the palate is definitely from the mosaic that they've put in this beer. It gives you just a little touch of that earthy quality. Yeah, this is really nice. I like how everything, I like the way the fruity qualities in this one go together. So behind the front curve of the tongue then, you get this really nice, you get this really nice juicy oily bubble there. You can really feel there's a nice tangerine-y orangey quality to this one. And that again is the mosaic coming out, and the further into the flavour you go, you get more of the limey notes, and I think the Centennial really starts to push its way out a little bit more the further into the flavour you go as well. I think the orangey juicy qualities are forming the linchpin of the beer. It's more like a kind of juicy tangerine rather than a straight up oily orange. Of course, when it comes to orange flavours in beers, you know, you've got the classic Amarillo, which is the oily orange, and the Mosaic offers you a slightly juicier tangerine and things as well, and the Azacca gives you a slightly sharper mandarin, I always found. But if you move further forward right towards the tip of the tongue, you can definitely pick out a little hint of this almost blueberry note and some kind of pineapple-y qualities as well, and that's the kind of subtle complexities that you can get from the Mosaic. Right on the very front tip of your tongue, it's definitely got a little bit of a kind of, it's definitely got a little bit of that blueberry quality to it, which is nice. But then you've also got a little bit of that pineapple-y quality there, and the limey flavours are starting to push their way out, and you've also got some of this lemony sharpness. There's a hell of a lot of fruity quality going on in this beer, but it certainly does work, and the beer just has this kind of fresh vibe about it because of the lemon limey qualities, and also a bit of that slightly spicy quality that you have from the floral aromatic side of the beer. But yeah, this is nice. As I say, I like how everything is going together in this one. So if you get the chance to try this beer, have a go at it. It's very nice. It's not one of the creamier New England IPAs that you're going to come across, but it's just very, very well done. So Spike Brewery gets another thumbs up from me for this one. I like what they've done with this beer. In terms of the mouthfeel then, mid-bodied, carbonation's very smooth. It's got a little touch of an oily quality to it, but at the same time it's got a little bit more crispness to it. As I was mentioning, it does have a little bit of a kind of refreshing quality, which is quite nice. I would say good little bit of IBU to this one. I think it's around the 40 mark. This one does have a little bit more bite to it than some of the other New England IPAs that I've had. Malt base has a good balance between smoothness and sweetness. It leans a little bit more towards the sweetness the further into the aftertaste you go, and you've got a lovely kind of juicy fruity quality in there as well. But overall, just one of these New England IPAs that's just very, very well done. So if you get the chance to try it, I highly recommend that you have a go at this one, because it's just really nicely done. So yeah, let's leave it at that for this one. The Illegal Business from Spike Brewery in Gothenburg here in Sweden. It's really nice, very, very fresh and spicy sort of New England IPA, this one, but it certainly is good. You know, if you like lemon limey flavours, this is one that's going to be right up your street. If you like sort of tangerine orangey flavours as well, it's going to be right up your street, but a solid double IPA, and you know there's a lot of breweries in Sweden doing a very nice job of these recently, so have a go at this one for yourself and just see what you think. But yeah, as I say, let's leave it at that for this one, the illegal business from Spike Brewery up in Gothenburg here in Sweden. So until the next time, thank you for watching my beer reviews. Please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Let me know your own thoughts on this beer in the comment section below. Let me know what your favourite beers are from Spike Brewery as well, and I'm sure I'll return to these guys in the near future. Make sure you check out my social media, and I will catch you guys very soon. Until the next time, it's Landed just now, and I'll catch you guys later. Make sure you have a go at this one and try any of the IPAs from Spike Brewery. They are a pretty damn solid brewery in my opinion. It's Landed just now, and I'll catch you guys later. Skål.